Hello and welcome to Pearls of Righteousness. Today I came because I felt led to share with you some or to bring some awareness as to the spirit of Jezebel. And we all have, I'm sure, have heard of her before, and I felt qualified to talk about it since I've been a victim of this spirit in many occasions, and as well as when you look around the nation, you can see this spirit that is in operation, is operating in the nations, is operating in homes, is operating in churches, in congregations, in families. And so it's a spirit that we need to all be aware of so that we can tackle it and cast it out, because it's actually an evil spirit. I know that when we say Jezebel, everyone tends to think of Jezebel in the Bible, and yes, I will point at her because she's a very good example to look at and to kind of differentiate and show the attributes of the spirit. And so without further ado, I'm going to go into some facts about Jezebel. Okay, so here we go. Jezebel, first of all, her name means shameless, okay, or an immoral woman. Now, Jezebel is a seductive woman, a spirit. Hence, an evil spirit is a seducing, seductive spirit. Okay. Likewise, the woman, you can see she's basically a harlot. The Jezebel in 2 Kings 9 and precisely verse 22, you can see it says that she is basically a prostitute, a harlot. Okay, so it's a seductive spirit. And when you say Jezebel, people tend to think of the outward appearance and how the red lipstick and how someone looks. And although that plays a part, that is not the main thing. The main thing is the actual spirit and the characteristics of the spirit, the behavior of the spirit, and what to look for. Okay. Now, the Bible tells us that Jezebel worshiped devils. Okay, she worshiped idols of gold and of silver. She worshipped idols of brass and of stone and wood. Okay, you can see an example of that in actually in Matthew chapter 6 and 24 and Exodus 20 and verse 3. The scriptures tell us these things that we mustn't do. Jezebel, on the other hand, she's the opposite. She does things that the Bible said don't do, right? Jezebel, another fact about her is that she causes men to murder, yeah, and she caused men to carry out sorceries, and she caused men to fornicate. Being a harlot, what thinking of the natural way, as in so the spirit. So she caused men to fornicate. Revelation talk about the harlot of Babylon. We know that it's talking about the end times and all of that is about, but it also give a depiction of a harlot and how she causes all of the kings of the earth to fornicate with her or wine or on her stuff, like, yeah. So there again is given a picture of the spirit. Jezebel also, she causes men to thief. Yes. she would encourage men to steal and to thief. If you look at 1 Kings chapter 21 from verses 5 to 15 and also verses 25 and 26, it will give you an example of these things. Now, Jezebel was a princess, first of all, and she was the daughter of a king. The king Et Baal of the Zidonians. Okay, 1 Kings 16, you can read about that, specifically verses 31. You will see it tells you there who she was the daughter of. Okay, now scripture also tells us that Jezebel worshipped Baal, right? And we know that Baal Sorry, I don't want my picture to drop off. And we know that Baal can also be seen as Zeus, right? Zeus was the Roman sky god, or Jupiter, the god that they worship, Jupiter, right? But Baal and Zeus is the same thing, different nations, different country, different time span, is the same deity, pagan deity, right? And what she did is she also, and not just she didn't just worship Baal, but she also introduced this worship into Yashrael, right? And caused the people to worship this deity. Now you know the Father said, "Don't worship or put no other gods before Him." So you can see in her character, this is the thing she do. She don't have no set apart ruach spirit. She has an evil spirit. Jezebel, as a wife, she influenced her husband to do evil. Her husband was Ahab. And if this spirit is in you as a wife, you will definitely influence your husband to do the wrong things, okay? Jezebel did not keep Yah's laws or his commandments. She broke all of them, basically, because if we look in Romans 13 and verse 9, and in Exodus where the commandments are, chapter 20 and verse 16, it tells you not to do these things. She was sexually, first of all, she was sexually immoral. She reveled in idolatry. And if you look at the definition of idolatry, basically is the worshiping of false gods or things, which we see she did that anyway. She also reveled in sorcery, and the definition for sorcery, if you don't know, it's a person who practices supernatural power through the aid of evil spirits. Get that? That's Jezebel. She also revels in strife, and we know that strife is having an angry or a bitter disagreement. You can have disagreement, but you can do that with dignity. Not Jezebel. It's bitter and violent. For her, it's got to be violent conflict and bitterness. It's like, bleh, you know what I mean? Like a bull. The next thing, she is also a very jealous character. If someone is having the trait of Jezebel in them, the spirit, they will operate in a lot of jealousy, big time, against a person or a people or a place. She will demonstrate jealousy in the highest and show you. Also, she revels in divination. And when we look at divination, we see divination is one who practices seeking knowledge of the future, right? But how do they do that? By supernatural powers. For example, you can look at a fortune teller. We know that that's not of the Most High. That is not holy, right? That's divination. Jezebel, there she is. She also revels in orgies. And if you don't know what orgies are, they are wild parties, parties with that you find excessive drinking that has no limits. They drink what they want. They can even drink blood if they want. Is that bad? There's also lots of discriminative sexual activities. So if you can think of a sexual activity that is discriminative, that you think is discriminative, because everybody is discriminative is different, but what you can think of as discriminative sex goes on in orgy parties. So you're discriminative, my discriminative, that person discriminated, all of that put together goes on at orgy. So she revels in that. Okay. She also loves revelry, right? Revelry is like she's very boisterous, boisterous and loud, merrymaking. When she doesn't think, it's very loud. Okay. And that's like a lot of facts about her in a nutshell. She likes strife as well, right? Like I said, she is very And strife is a very angry, bitter disagreement with someone and violent conflict. Okay, so she will not settle the matter amicably or peacefully. It's got to be bitter, and it's got to be violent. That's Jezebel. Okay, now she also has the traits of control and manipulation, and this is like her top trait. There's not that one or two. Control and manipulation is equal when it comes to Jezebel. She is the mother of control. Whatever she wants, or she will manipulate and control to get it. She will manipulate the situation. She will use people, like she will use that person like a spider, and like a spider web on that person and that person and that person and that person, while she pretends to be innocent, and get all of them to do her dirty work, or to carry out her agenda for her, right? The Jezebel spirit likes to take credit for everything, right? Note that. Be aware of that. These are like little awareness and signs I'm giving you. She likes to use others, like I said, and she don't use try to use she use people that are vulnerable, people that are weak, okay, and can't see through her or falseness, okay. She does use these people to accomplish her own agenda, like I said, and in the way like that, she go to that person and that person behind you and stuff like that, while she pretends to be innocent. She also loves to withhold information from you, from a person. If she doesn't like you, she will withhold information. Even if she don't like you, she will just withhold information, full stop. She's not a person who loves to share freely. She only shares freely when there is a reward or a favor for her out of it, or it's going to give her some kind of a favor with the leaders or with somebody there. Okay, that's the only time she'll do it. She volunteers a lot. She loves to volunteer, and I'm not saying that people who volunteer they have Jezebel spirit, because there are people who genuinely love to volunteer, who just have the gifts of help and works and love to just give the service. But when Jezebel volunteers, she has she have an intention at the end of it, right? Is either to take charge, or to take over the leadership position of the person who is in charge of what she volunteered for. Okay, so take note of that, because that's her aim when she volunteers. When Jezebel volunteers, not when people volunteers. Another big thing to look out for, a trait, is that she will lie barefacedly. That they say barefaced. She will lie in front of your face, and she is very convincing when she's doing so. Okay, she's convincing when she does so. So be on the lookout for that. She loves to influence leaders with lies. Okay, and so as while she's doing that, influencing them with lies, she's trying to assume herself a leadership position. When she does that, she will lie to give leaders lie about someone else to make herself look good, to assume a position in leadership. That's the kind of things that this Jezebel spirit will do, or this spirit operating in someone will do. Okay, she's very good at ignoring someone. Okay, so that she can put you in isolation, especially take note, especially when you do not agree with something that she is putting forward, or that she wants or says. In other words, if you disagree with her, trust me, she's very good at ignoring you. She will ignore you, and so as to put you in isolation. You have to know how to deal with that. Okay, now and another thing is, don't expect Jezebel to give you any credit or any gratitude for anything. She won't do it. right? Because she's insecure and she's full of pride. The only time she will do such a thing is if it's going to benefit her, if it's going to give her some kind of a favor, okay? Now, if note as well that if this Jezebel spirit is wrong about something, she won't admit it, okay? Let me put on my music. She won't admit that she is wrong, because I put on my song about Jezebel. Listen to the words. She would never ever admit that she's wrong unless, like I said before, it will gain her favor with someone, okay? Listen to this song. I couldn't help it. If ever the devil was born without a pair of horn, it was you, Jezebel. It was you. I hope you can hear it. Note as well, she is not logical when you confront her. If you confront her about something, she will respond by trying to confuse the issue, confuse the situation. She will try to confuse you, so watch out for that. She's not logical at all. Be aware of that. And be sure to know that she will conspire and she will stir up others against you, right? And especially if she sees that you have favor with the leaders, or the leaders or the head person favors you in some way or something, and she wants that, she will conspire. She will stir up and put everybody against you, so as to lose you that favor and put herself. So basically, this is the operation of this spirit. She's a very prideful person or spirit, and I'm saying she, although this spirit operates in men too, but because this channel is about the ladies, and I'm focusing on us women to be aware of these traits of this spirit. It's an evil spirit, okay? She's very prideful, and she appoints herself as a prophetess, right? And she establishes herself as a teacher of the Most High's people. She does that. She establishes herself. She basically does it, right? So be aware of the Jezebel spirit. These are all traits. Let's just go back and look at the video. Now you see up here, I've got my board here, and it says, let me bring it a bit closer. Here you go. Right. You can see that's my drawing, my kiddie's drawing of Jezebel, and this is the type of thing that she does. You see, she's on the top. She would, and the men are down there. That's always our aim in any situation or organization. It's always to be on the top. That's what she wants. Okay, so this is a wake-up call to my people. Time. Take note of this spirit. This spirit will send fireworks. She will blow up things for you. Be careful, be aware. You see that there? That's that monster. That's what she's like. She will spit fire at you, right? She will spit out fire at you. So this video is to bring awareness and to get you to arm up yourself, like this bloke here with his shield and his sword, ready to fight back at this demon. Because that's what Jezebel is. She spits out fire at you. She's all about abortion. She will abort, right? She will abort what you have. You can see, I'll bring this up a bit closer. She will abort your vision, okay? She will abort your dream. That, all of that is a fireworks of Jezebel, okay? So take note of that. I also try to write her name in Hebrew, because we know in the Hebrew alphabet there is no J. So our name really is not Jezebel, it's Isabel, okay? And this is how you write it in the Hebrew. So you've got the Zion, you've got the Bet, and the Lamed. Okay, those are the three letters for her name: the Zion, the Bet, and the Lamed, because these are just vowels. Okay, so we don't have to put the vowels in. And I did this so to show you, because we know in Hebrew alphabet, it tends to, when you want to see a meaning of a word or whatever, you will go to the dictionary and look at its meaning or the definition and stuff like that. But usually in the Hebrew language, all of the letters have a meaning and they have a picture that goes with it. So in her name, we have the Zion, and the Zion, the picture of the Zion, this letter here, is that one of a weapon, that you use in plowing, like when you plow a field, and it basically means to plow. It means to cut off or to separate. So you can see straight away in the Z of her name is, and when you plow in a field, even though you plow in a field to for good, but the actual process of plowing is, it is a blade that's literally turning up the soil and getting everything out of there. And that's Jezebel. What she does, she creates all of that and stir things up, and bring all of the bad things out and set you understand. That's her. It also means to cut off and to separate. So she loves to cut people off or separate them. So you've got the Bet, which is the house, is a picture graph of a house or a tent, and it means a tribe or a nation or a family, right? So in any house, whether it's your house, whether it's your workplace, whether it's your congregation, whether it's the nation, it's a people in a place. She is that weapon that is used to stir up and to cut off and to separate people from the house, right? And most times as well, Jezebel is usually, she can be in leadership as well. The Lamed is a picture graph of a shepherd's staff. And what does a shepherd use a staff to do? To direct the sheep and to move them about, and with his authority. So and it means authority and leadership. So usually it's she's a leadership type of person, right? Or she's always seeking leadership, or she will be in leadership. So Jezebel in the Hebrew, Isabel, the name is saying that she is the leader, the authority figure that will stir up all the trouble to cut off one from the house, from the tribe, from the nation, from the family, from the assembly. Okay, so this is Jezebel for you in a nutshell. And on that note, I would like to leave you with that, because I don't want this video to go any longer, and just to say to you to just be aware of this spirit, and when you notice it, deal with it, because if you leave Jezebel to fester, she will destroy you. You see how this is blown up here? She will blow you up like that until she's finished with you and take you out. You have to deal with the spirit. Look at her attributes. She spits out fire. So arm yourself and be aware of this spirit. Mainly leaders needs to be aware, because she attacks leaders, because this is her aim. She likes to assume leadership above men, women, whoever it is, but she likes to be the one on the top. Okay, so be aware of that and take note, and when you see it operating, chop it straight away, or else it's gonna destroy your family, it's gonna destroy your house, it's gonna destroy your congregation, it's going to just literally destroy. Right? And so on that note, I just like to say to you, blessings, may the blessings of the Most High rest upon you and keep you alert to the spirit, and that you will know how to recognize it, and you will acknowledge it when you're coming under the attack of it, and you deal with it and know what to expect from the spirit, right? Because it will mess up your life. Trust me, it will mess up your everything. Okay? And so on that note, I'd just like to ask you to, if you would subscribe, If you found this informative in any way, if you you liked it, just give me a thumbs up, leave a comment or something, and if you do, I will be very, very grateful. And I'm going to come with the next video, the second part to this, which I'm going to focus on how she looks. So remember how I look right now, and in the second part of this video you will see I'm going to talk about the appearance of Jezebel. Okay, so until we meet again, hasta la vista, bye bye.